It's party time, chasing it on the West Florida Golf Tour. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey, welcome to the program. This is episode number 2. We started off with the big dog, Christian Bartolacci. We got a great guest for you today. It is Kyle Rhodes. Kyle's a friend of mine. We've done some K. What's up, Kyle? Hey, I got a bone to pick with you. All right.
Oh boy.
But we're not going to pick it right away. And I also have a thank you. All right. But I'm going to send you. It's the balance. But I'm going to send you into the green room and I'm going to make you sweat it out as I go through a little preamble, which I did in the first episode with Christian, in which I think it's important with the start of any new broadcast and a podcast to explain who you are, what you're doing, and what your goals are. Party Drinks, that is our title sponsor of It's Party Time, chasing on the West Florida Golf Tour. Party is a golf-specific drink, which was created by Andrew McCabe, who you're going to be later. We're going to do a profile on him later on this program. And he created it about 5 or 6 years ago because he thought there was something better than what a lot of people are starting to drink now, namely the hard seltzers. And so he created Party. I got a bunch behind me on that shoulder and in the graphic above me. And I think once you try it, you're going to make a switch from what it is that you're having. If it's available at your golf course, ask for it. If your golf course doesn't have it, tell the food and beverage manager or the head pro to get it, and they probably will. Or you can log online and check out our website at drinkparty.com for all the different locations. And also a big thanks to the real estate team, the golf pros, the true real estate golf pros, Vince Vizzacaro and Gene Walsh from Fine Properties in the Sarasota area. If your dream is to buy a house on a golf course or sell a house on a golf course, let's face it, a lot of people are coming down to Florida, and we all get why. It's because of golf. It's because of the climate, any number of things. If you want to live on a golf course, Vince and Gene are your people, and you can get in contact with them at suncoastdreams.com, or you can call them at 941-220-4200. All right. Kyle Rhodes, thanks for sweating
Cheers
it out.
to that. I'm thirsty now.
That? You're
thirsty now.
Well, I got you covered on that. Come on, man.
Perfect. Perfect.
But you don't really, competitively, that's a whole different animal. But socially, do you ever have a cocktail on the golf course?
Yeah. Pretty rare, though. Pretty rare. For the most part, golf's always been the job. So drinking on the job's typically frowned upon. Mm-hmm. Mostly a post round, either celebrating a good round or, trying to forget about a bad one. But not a huge drinker. But it is needed in golf sometimes.
Yeah, I get it. Andrew McCabe is joining us. He just traveled from Boston. Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm in the restaurant. I'm in a Chinese restaurant right now.
That's fantastic. All right, we just for all the viewers' information, Andrew was supposed to be on this, but he had a little trouble with his luggage in the transport. Where are you? Fort Lauderdale? What's
We're in Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, get back to dinner with your wife, but if you want to come in from time to time,
say hi.
Do you want to hang with us? What do you want to do?
Well, we actually just ordered, so it's coming. You don't want to see us eating chicken wings, do you?
No, we don't. Get out of here. We're okay.
Right.
But I'm glad you chimed in, Andrew, because Andrew is, Kyle, you're going to love him. If there ever was somebody whose dinner you want to crash, or if he invites you over to dinner, that's the guy. He is a food and beverage snob without being douchey about it, like in the best of ways.
Yeah.
He's a good friend to have. We'll go out to dinner with him.
Eating food's the best thing ever. So yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. Take me back. Where does your golf journey start? How old were you when you first had a club in your hand, and who put it in there?
Yeah, for sure. Both my parents played. They had me playing from a young age. I remember seeing pictures of me being a couple years old hitting it, but really the golf journey started 7th grade. Started playing a ton of golf with my baseball teammates. I was a big baseball player, football, basketball, all these other sports. And then in 8th grade, right when I had just gotten the golf bug, I broke my femur playing basketball. Some kid crossed me over and wrecked my knee. I broke the end of my femur under my patella, and 3 knee surgeries later, kind of forced me to go all in on golf. And at the time, it was the end of the world for me because I couldn't play football anymore. I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't play baseball. And like, as a young athlete, like that's all I wanted to do. Now, as I'm older, I'm able to look back on that and I'm super grateful that it happened. It's been a huge lesson because then I went all in on golf, and now golf is my life in every single way. So it was 8th grade really when I got started, but that was forced upon by breaking the femur.
Interesting. Were you good at the start, or did you struggle with it? I kind of get the sense you're a good athlete.
Yeah, I've always been a good athlete. In golf, though, that doesn't go hand in hand. I mean, we see it all the time. I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos of stud athletes that look terribly unathletic when they play golf. But yeah, I was pretty good. I mean, I made my varsity team as a freshman in high school, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard to really remember how good I was, but I would like to believe that, yeah, pretty quickly I got pretty good.
When did you break 80 for the first time?
Yeah, that was in high school. Broke 80 in high school for the first time, and 70 as well. And it's funny, I don't remember exactly where. I do remember the first time I didn't break 80, which is funny. I had a putt for 79, Fox Hills Golf Course in Plymouth, Michigan, where I grew up, and I had like a 3-footer for 79, and I missed it, and I so badly wanted to pretend that I made it, but I didn't. And I think the next day I went and shot 78. But almost lied to some people and said, yeah, no, I gave it to myself,
That's a terrible. You had to sleep on it, but you exercised it. You made it right quickly. And then 70 came not long after that?
Yeah, I would imagine within the next I'd say definitely within the next 12 months. It's hard. I actually really don't remember the first time I broke 70. But I do remember when I broke 60. I am part of that club. So that one is stuck with me.
Let's get into that, because I remember asking you that question. Have you ever broken 60? And you said yes. I said 59. You said no, 58. Walk me through it. When was it? What happened?
Yeah, just a regular day of practice. I wish I could say it was in a tournament, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I was with a friend, 2 friends at the Ritz-Carlton Members Club in Sarasota. And I wasn't going to play that day. Just was going to practice my wedges, practice my putting. And my buddy comes up to me. He's like, let's go play a quick 9. No one's out there. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Let's play from the blues, though. I want to work on my wedges. So the blues at the Ritz is like 6,600 yards. And so, typical college Division I golf and professional golf, you're used to playing 7,000 plus. So 6,600 feels really short. Whatever. Go out on the front 9, and I'm like 6 under through 6. I shoot 29 on the front. And
so 9 is definitely going to turn into 18 at this point.
Exactly. Now, here's the kicker. I've actually never told anybody this. After 9 holes, after the 29, my buddies had to leave. We played in an hour. They both worked at the club. They were pros at the club. They had to leave. But I'm like, guys, I just shot 29. I'm going to go to the back. Okay. I went to the back by myself. I played the back completely by myself. And, I remember, though, throughout the round, I was Snapchatting. I don't use Snapchat anymore, but I was communicating live feed with my friends via Snapchat. Like, all right, 11 under through 12. All right, 12 under through 13. So I was very conscious of where I was at. You'd think, oh, you have no clue, where you're at in the round. But I knew exactly throughout the entire round. I come up to the 18th hole, hit a good drive.
Okay. Stop. No. Stop. On the 18th tee, you're how many under and what?
So par 72, so I was 13 under.
You're 13 under.
Yep.
Are you thinking just make par? Are you nervous? I want to know it all.
Yeah. I mean, of course I knew. There were nerves involved. But no, it was just everything was working that day. It was either I hit it close and made the putt, or I didn't hit it close and made the putt. At that point in my routine, when I was playing, I paced out all my putts. And so I thought it through after the round. I made 260 feet of putts that round. So everything was going in. Like I said, I either hit it close or I didn't. But on 18, hit the fairway. I think I had about 195 in, longer par 4, hit it to like 6 feet. Don't remember the club, but I do remember standing over the 6-footer, and I'm over it and I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe I got a putt like for 58 right now. Like, I'm like, this is almost not even, no one's going to even believe this. Like, do I even want to make this? And I'm like, whoa. I step off the putt. I'm like, of course I want to make this, like refocus, like, come on. And so I went back through my routine, make the 6-footer, and I just throw my hands up in the air, and you're by the clubhouse, but no one's really watching. And I'm just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I just shot 58, and it was
so 14 under.
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
That 6-footer, what kind of putt was it? Uphill? Was it an easy?
It was
putt?
like an edge. It was like an edge putt, left edge or right edge. It didn't have a ton of break. Pretty basic putt.
Okay, not much speed, so it's not going to get away from you. You got 59
Correct.
in the bag, you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. Now that you bring that up, I never thought, I hope I don't 3-putt. It just was one of those days where the fear wasn't a thing. It was like either I make it or I don't make it and I tap it in. But like I said, it was pretty basic 6-footer. So.
Wow. What kind of a buzz was that when it was all said and done? Like
it honestly, yeah, it was pretty incredible. I remember driving around to all my friends that I'd then passed and was like sharing with them, like, you're not going to believe what I just did. And, it's tough because in golf, right? Like, oh, you made a hole in one. Oh, but who are you playing with? Oh, you shot this. Oh, but who are you playing with? And like, most people will question it because most people aren't honest.
No, you're an honest man. You're an honest man.
But even to myself, I'm not even worried. Honestly, it's in my heart, right? So if someone wants to question it, they can question it all they want. But for me, it happened. It's in my heart. That's all that matters. And I've had to draw on that round because golf sucks sometimes and it's hard and you go through bad stretches. And so, yeah, really, really incredible day. I did make a bogey, the easiest 175-yard par 3, so I think I had 3 eagles and a bogey and I don't know how many birdies.
And it was just happening because it was, and you weren't thinking too much, or you were thinking if you're texting people and you're doing Snapchat and all that other stuff.
I knew, right? Or basically it's just communicating with friends via Snapchat. I knew right where I was at. Yeah, it was, like I said, the putter. I mean, I just was seeing putts go in. I think visualizing putts is the most important aspect of putting, and every putt I could just see going in, and I was rolling it down my line, and good stuff.
Where'd you go to college? And were you recruited much?
Yeah. College recruit. I went to Eastern Michigan, which was 20 minutes from where I grew up. I was recruited a decent amount. Now, most kids, are committing their junior year of high school, which is when I committed. Then my senior year of high school, I went and had a standout year. I won Mr. Golf for the state of Michigan, but I was already committed to Eastern Michigan. I have no regrets going to Eastern. It was great to me. Part of me does wonder, like, man, if only I had had that Mr. Golf season my junior year, who knows where I would have gone. But obviously I went to Eastern and it was great. We had a good schedule. It was fun, good coach, good teammates that I'm still friends with, and no regrets.
How did you decide to come to Florida, and why the West Coast as opposed to the East Coast?
Yeah. West Coast, knew some people over here, knew coming out of college, I needed a place that I could work part-time and be able to fund the mini tour life. And also then by working part-time, being able to practice at the club. And so my buddy, Reed, was the assistant pro at the Ritz-Carlton Members Club where I shot the 58. And so got a job there working a couple days a week. They worked with my tournament schedule, and now I love it here. Sarasota, west side of Florida. I love it here.
For those that I know, a lot of our listeners and viewers now, because we're on video, because you told me that you can't have a podcast without any video. True. You got to have a social media presence.
It's true.
You created so much work for me. I appreciate you. Were right. You were right. You said, so I'll tell the story. You and I, we were caddying one day. We're about to caddy. And I said, hey, I think I could start this podcast. And you're like, you got to do this. And I'm like, well, can I tell you about the podcast first? And you're like, you got to do this. And you know what? We did just about everything you said, namely putting it on video, because that's sort of how the world works. And that's with your coaching and everything. You have, how many followers do you have on the different social media sites?
Like 50,000 on TikTok, 15,000 on Instagram. Just got the YouTube going. YouTube's the best in my opinion. No diss to the others. Just believe in it long term. That I'm very small. Big picture goal. I'd love to have a cumulative 1 million subs on all platforms. Like one day, I really do think it's possible. I think there's a ton of opportunity out there. I know what I'm capable of creating. It's now just the executing and, maybe outsourcing some of the editing. Because now that you're doing this podcast, you get it. I mean, it's time consuming, but I love it. It's fun to create videos. Each individual video is like an asset in itself that if you make them right can continue to help people for a long period of time and continue to pay you for a long period of time.
Right. So that's instructional, but you have to give people what they want. And that's kind of what we decided as a company with Party is we want to promote our products, but we got to give the viewers and listeners something so they would want to maybe sample our stuff. So that's why we find interesting. And I just find the guys that are grinding on the mini tours, especially the West Florida Golf Tour, just so fascinating in what they'll do to chase a dream.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's what's cool about a tour like the West Florida Tour is there's so many studs that you've never even heard of on these mini tours across the country. For example, yesterday we had a game, Sarah Bay Country Club, 12 of us.
Oh, okay. That's the place, right?
Yeah. Love Sarah Bay, right? My buddy Keimer hosted us. We play 12
League for those that don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it. We'll get
time. Yes. Yeah. But so the West Florida Tour, mini tours. This 12 of us. I bet you everyone that played had played at least one event on the West Florida Tour. Some were Latin guys, some were Canada guys. That's PJ Tour Latin America, which those are gone, whatever. It's a mess. But my point is this. Less words, Kyle. My point is there are 12 guys you've never heard of. And 7 of the 12 guys on a tricky Donald Ross in the wind Sarah Bay Country Club, 7 of the 12 shot in the sub 70, shot in the 60s. And you've never even heard of these guys. So there's so many studs on the mini tours that have, if the opportunity is given to them, they can play at a high level. So it's just about playing well at the right time and a bunch of different things. But I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, wow, like if only people knew the amount of talent out there. I mean, I shot 67 and finished T3. There were 2 66s and one other 67 and I broke even. I didn't even make any money.
Okay. That's a perfect example of that. So help me understand something. I know you wear a lot of hats. You got a lot going on. Are you still chasing it?
Yeah, definitely. Just in a different form. The balance has been good for me. I do some coaching. I do some content. I do some caddying. I do some competing, kind of the 4 C's, I call it, of golf. And the balance, when all my eggs aren't in the playing basket, seems to have helped me. I'm playing some of the best golf of my life right now. So I absolutely am antsy to continue to compete. I just started as an associate in the PGA, kind of inspired by Michael Block, so that I can become a full member and then have the opportunity every year to qualify for PGA championships. I know a couple buddies that were playing full time that have pivoted and also are in the PGA process now. I think it's a good opportunity. And so I'm excited. Yeah, definitely love competing. I would say I'm chasing it, but not the traditional go to Q school, finish top 30 on the Korn Ferry Tour, get your tour card. I think there's different ways to play at the highest level, and through the PGA is one of them. So I'm excited. Just got to stop procrastinating the portfolio and doing the work to actually become a member. But
yeah, well, and there are bills to pay.
Yes,
we all got to pay the bills. Caddy, that's one way that you pay the bills, as do I. Who's the better caddy, me or you?
Aha, that's funny. I guess it just depends. That's me. Let's just be honest. Yeah,
You may be right from a playing. Well, there's credibility in different ways from the playing point.
Yeah, no.
Your game's
It's all about the energy. It's all about making the people happy. You can sit in a room with anyone and have a good conversation with them. So obviously, I was just joking. You're probably exceptional as a caddy. We've never caddied actually in a group together, but that's what caddying is all about: is reading the room, right? Understanding the competitiveness of the players, understanding what kind of pushes their buttons, what they want from you, and then just giving them that. Because the whole point of being there as a caddy is to make the experience better for them. So that's where I at least keep my focus. Take nothing personal, because when you tell them it's right edge and they start at 2 cups outside right and they go, it didn't break, and you go, yeah, you're right, it didn't break, I misread that, sorry. You just kind of get used to not taking it personal. But
well, it's their day, right? And you said give them an experience. That's the whole. If you give them an experience, that's what they remember, and that's the best you can do. Mm-hmm. Tell me a story that if we were having beers and one that would be saying, "No shit, oh my gosh," what would it be?
Okay. The first one that comes to mind would be an opportunity I had to play with a familiar name who would be sweet if you could have on the podcast one day, once you grow to a massive following, would be Mr. Max Homa. Got to play a match against Homa a few years back at Whisper Rock out in Arizona, which at the time was his home course. Now his home course is Silverleaf, another phenomenal club.
Yep.
Shout out Ben Herman, the owner. I've become friends through caddying with Ben, and that place is amazing. Ben. For all the people watching, you got to get to Silverleaf. How you're going to do that? I guess you're going to have to either reach out to Kevin or I. But anyway, Max Homa, awesome dude, as cool in real life as he is on the internet, which is refreshing. Just down to earth. First tee box, I'm like, all right, I want to have a match. Perfect. Okay, whatever. $100 match play.
So wait a minute. No, stop. You bring that up? You put the challenge down?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he wasn't gonna. I mean, he's just my sponsor at the time had set this up for us, and whatever. Max wasn't going to offer. I knew it was an opportunity for me. I was like, worst case is I lose 100, right?
Right.
And have learning experiences, and so Max on the first tee box. I think I'm terrible at trash talk, to be honest. And I think I make some joke trash talk comment. And he goes, look, man, honestly, I don't even remember. But his response was the best part. His response was like, look, man, at the end of the day, you flew across the country to play with me today. So, I mean, I think I'm still winning. Yeah.
Right. So he dropped the mic on you. Yeah.
Good point.
Right.
That's a good point.
It's like anything Kevin Kistner says. He's like, hey, man, it ain't no hobby. My name's on the bag for a reason.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Continue. So how did it work out?
So it worked out great. Matt, first off, Whisper Rock, super pure, awesome experience. We played the upper course, took a ton of videos. He was super cordial, like to give us some wedge tips and, just really, this was the week of the waste management. So it's a big week. And this was on the Monday. And so anyway, I ended up beating him, which was cool. That's a core memory. We were tied, or I was 1 up going into the last, and we tied the hole, or I won the hole. No, we tied the hole. And so I beat him. And obviously, as I mentioned before, there's so many low times in the game of golf. And so I've drawn from that a whole bunch.
I would
during those times. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I could, what's the phrase called? I could downplay it. That's not the phrase I'm looking for. But I many times I'm like, oh, it was just a Monday. Oh, imposter syndrome, right? I could be like, oh, it was just a practice round. It was just a Monday.
No, but
he was trying to win. I was trying to win. It was cool.
Well, something like you're 58 and something like beating Max Homa, Yeah, that helps you in the tough times, but that like grows your confidence. Like when I shoot a low score, I ride that high for like a week, if not more. I just feel better about life. I mean, that's how wrapped up I am in my golf game.
Yeah.
But tell me something. Have you, I think it's fair to say anybody that's listening and watching loves the game, and we do too. But there have been times where I hated it. What about you?
No doubt. I swear, sometimes even during an 18 holes, I can go from loving it to hating it. I've never really truly hated the game. There's definitely been tears. There's definitely, I remember Canadian Tour Q School like 2 years ago. No, 2 years. What am I saying? Probably 4 years ago now. I mean, tears in the car, shot a million every round. Like, what the heck am I doing? Like, this is no fun. And that's what kind of led me to where I'm at now, being more of this golf entrepreneur, kind of doing the content and doing the coaching. And because I was like, look, I need to take a step back. I hate the game right now. How else can I use my golf skills to earn a living? Because you have no money when you're playing on the mini tours and the lifestyle's tough. And so caddying was one of the things, lowest hanging fruit. It's fun, meet some great people. And then the videos started to take off, and that inspired me to do more. And that's led to, more and more opportunities for coaching people online and in person. So never hated it though. I love this game. I really do love the game.
You need golf. It sounds to me that you need golf in your life on some level. But at times the competitive thing can really mess with your mind, right?
100%.
Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. Absolutely. But I'm so competitive. Like when I stopped playing in as many tournaments, I mean, I was playing 3-4 tournaments a month on the mini tours, and I stopped for a while, and like I started running in it. That was competitive for myself. And like, because I'm just so used to competing all the time. Like that's why a casual round of golf can be hard for me, because like if nothing's on the line, guys, what are we even doing here? I enjoy it, but I much more enjoy competing. I think that's what it is. And I realized when I stopped playing tournaments, I started finding ways to compete in other areas of my life, and running just one example, but.
Well, I know you keep yourself in good shape. I can see you're in good shape. I've seen you working out in the gym. Some of your exercises are kind of weird, like the lunges and everything. Are those golf specific? What the hell are you doing?
That's funny.
It does help your golf and your body and your mind. I don't think I've ever done a workout that I regretted later. And in fact, my only regret is maybe I should have done it sooner.
Yes.
So, Kyle, I'm going to let you go in a minute, but let me help you out here. How can people get in touch with you? Are your services for coaching, instruction, whatever, are they available for hire? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the easiest way, social media would be my name, Kyle, Kyle, Rhodes, Rodes. No H in my last name for whatever reason. Anything. Instagram's at Kyle Rhodes, TikTok's at Kyle Rhodes, my website, KyleRhodesGolf.com. That's where you can learn more about coaching. But yeah, I'm trying to put as much free content on social as possible just to help people. That's really my whole purpose, is to just add as much value to whoever clicks follow or whoever comes across my video. I think it's unique. There's a lot of coaches that don't play golf very well, and that's fine. I'm sure they could be great instructors, but I like that, I have the experience of playing golf and shooting some low scores. So I believe that I can help people if they just buy in. Now that's the hard part, right? But anyway, thanks. Just those social handles is the easiest way to check me out.
You've got the credibility. I've seen what you've done online. I've seen what you've done in person. You got a lot of game. So if we get back in with
you too, by the way, you're being humble. You too, by the way.
Your best days may be in front of you, brother. There's no doubt my best days are behind me, but at least.
Oh, that doesn't mean some good days aren't still ahead. But I've seen you make mid 70s look easy, so you're still even better.
Yeah, 58. That's what I'm going to aspire to. I don't know. We can all be dreamers. Hey, Kyle, thanks a lot. Just stick around for a little bit. I just want to thank everybody for watching again. Spread the word about our podcast here. Party Time, chasing it on the West Florida Golf Tour. Big thanks to Party Drinks. If you're looking for it, look at drinkparty.com for the different locations. I will tell you 3 just right away. So, Kyle, you and your buddies who play those social rounds, you can go to Rogers Market on Fruitville, right across from the Founders Club. Also 7-Eleven on State Road 64 near Lorraine Road in Bradenton. And also Lucky Mobile right across the street from the links at Greenfield Plantation. State Road 64 and I-75. And also big thanks to Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro from Find Properties. If your dream is to buy a house or to sell a house on a golf course, I think that's everybody's dream. They're the perfect people for you. You can get in contact with them at suncoastdreams.com, or you can call them at 941-220-4000. For Kyle Rhodes, I'm Kevin Walsh. Take care. We'll see you on the golf course.
Thanks, Kev.
You've been listening to Party Time, chasing it on the West Florida Golf Tour. For more information about where Party is available, go to drinkparty.com. And if your dream is to live on a golf course in Southwest Florida, check out their golf realtor specialists, Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro, at suncoastdreams.com.